Hey bass players, today we're going to be learning about tuning our instrument. But what is tuning? Well, each of these strings has a designated pitch or note. We have up top the G string, the D string, the A string, and the E string. Now these strings are named after notes because when you play them, that's the note we hear. But if our instrument is out of tune, then we'll hear a different note. So we have to make sure that it's on point. The way we do that is by adjusting the tension of the string by twisting these tuning machines up here. As we turn them one way, the string gets tighter and the pitch goes up. As we turn them the other way, the string gets looser and the pitch goes down. So if this is our E string and it's out of tune, well, we have to ask the question, is the pitch too high or is the pitch too low? If the pitch is too high, we call it sharp. If the pitch is too low, we call it flat. In order to tune your instrument, you're going to need the help of a tuner. Tuners come in all shapes and sizes. Here's the one I'm using today. This is the Snark tuner. You just turn it on with this button, and when you play a note, the name of the note will come up there and it'll tell you whether it's sharp or flat. There are all kinds of tuners. A Korg tuner is commonly seen in a lot of schools, and it's a square shape. Also, if you have a smartphone or any kind of smart device, you can download a tuning app. There's a lot of free tuning apps, so you don't even have to spend the money on an actual tuner. You can use the app on your phone if that's what you have readily available to you. We have to think about where to put our tuner when we're tuning. There are certain places on the instrument where the sound is loudest, and that's going to help the tuner pick it up. If your tuner is over here or way across the room, it might not pick up the notes as accurately. With the Snark tuner, I can actually clip this on to the bridge of my instrument, just like this. The bridge transfers the vibrations of the strings into the body of the instrument. So it's a perfect place to put your tuner because all the vibrations are passing through here. If you don't have a clip-on tuner, I recommend setting a music stand at its lowest setting here in front of the bridge and the F holes. This is because, once again, the vibrations pass through the bridge into the body and resonate out of the F holes. So this lower level is going to be the best place to set your tuner as opposed to way up here. Let's take a close-up look at how the tuner works and how we can actually adjust the tension on our strings. Here we have the tuner clipped on to the bridge. Once again, if you have a Korg tuner, the square one, or even an app tuner, you'll be putting it on a music stand in front of your bass. But here, when I play the string, you'll see that the tuner says the name of the note, and there's a little marker that moves from left to right depending on whether the note is sharp or flat. In this case, the marker is to the left of the note name. In all tuners, to the left of center will be flat, and to the right of center will be sharp. Notice the tuner is also picking up my voice. That's another thing to watch out for. Make sure to stop any conversations while you're tuning, even if they're really good ones. So here we go, here's my G. It's a little flat. Here's my D. It's a little flat. A. A little flat, and my E. So all my strings in this case are a little flat. Let's take a look at the tuning machines on the top of my instrument to see how they affect the pitch. Unlike most string instruments, basses actually have a machine tuner. That means that there's gears involved with tightening and loosening the strings as opposed to just a wooden peg. These are made out of metal as well as the gears, and we use them to twist these knobs right there in the center to tighten or loosen the string. So if you see the string moving up and being wound around that inner peg, then that means the string is getting tighter. If you see the string coming down and unwinding, that means the string is getting looser. So here I'm going to play my G string, and since it was a little flat, I'll have to tune by twisting this peg right here. So here we are. Take a look. You might not notice it as much visually, but you can hear it in the sound of the string. That was lower, and here's higher. Let's hear our D string. Let's first go flat, lower. Now let's go sharp, higher. Our A string, and higher. As a rule, your instrument should be set up to go flat when you turn counterclockwise and sharp when you go clockwise. But depending on who set up your instrument and how it was set up, that might not be the case. So always use your tuner and use your ear as well. Now that we know how the mechanics of tuning work, I want to make sure we know how to relate our body to the body of the instrument while tuning. It can get pretty tricky, especially with an instrument as big as bass. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to take that position we learned about last time, where we have the corner of the instrument going into our abdomen. And then with one hand, you will reach over and grab the strings. Notice I have complete control over the instrument between its connection with my abdomen and my right hand. That frees up my left hand to adjust the tuning pegs as needed. So for example, I'll play my G, and I can adjust as needed. I'll do every string in this way. Ooh, that one's a little sharp. As you get better at navigating your instrument, you can tune either in pizzicato with your fingers or arco with your bow. Think about what kind of music you're about to play. If you're going to be using the bow in your music a lot, then it's best to tune with the bow. If you're going to be playing with your fingers more, then it's best to tune with your fingers. This is because the pitch of the string actually changes very slightly depending on how it's being played. Notice that when we play with our finger, we're grabbing the string and we're actually pulling on it quite a bit. Even something as small as that is going to change the pitch of the string when it rings. So always make sure to think about the music that you're going to play before you start tuning. Now that we know how to tune our instruments, it's important that we tune our instruments each time we start playing. Every time you take the instrument out of the case, you must tune it. This is for two reasons. First, you want your playing to sound good, and being in tune is going to be one of the surefire ways to make sure that your instrument sounds beautiful. But secondly, our ears get used to what they hear. If you constantly play on an out-of-tune instrument, your ears will get used to that and start to think that that's the correct sound. So always make sure to tune your instrument whenever you take it out of the case. Depending on how long you practice, you might find that your instrument goes out of tune while you play. Let's say you practice for an hour. About 30 minutes in, you might need to retune your instrument. So if you ever have a doubt, you can always just take out your tuner and quickly check your notes and make any adjustments you need to. Being in tune will help your muscle memory be more correct because the notes will always be in the same exact place. So make sure to prioritize that. All right, everyone, let's get to practicing. I'll see you next time.